Hi everyone, and welcome back to my series on fairies and folklore. This is the 4th episode of my 5-part series, and today I would like to start with a little bit of pagan history involving the Fae. Beltane, or as it is also known, May Day, is the second spring festival in the pagan tradition and is held on May 1st. It is said to be the day that the Tuatha De Danann arrived on the shores of Ireland. Beltane is said to be a time when the veil between the human world and the world of Fae is thin, and sightings of these fair folk is said to spike at or around May 1st. The ancient pagans had a deep respect and fear for the Fae, and Beltane is said to be a time of abundance and fertility. As recorded by William Butler Yeats, one piece of Celtic folklore states that when all is ripe and ready for harvest in the human world, in the land of Fae all is withered and scarce, and vice versa. The Fae are known to be particularly jealous beings, and certain measures were taken to ward off the Fae during that time. A smattering of yellow flowers was said to distract the Fae, and so the pagans would arrange cut flowers of yellow around their homes and property in hopes of distracting the Fae from the sight of their bountiful festivities, celebrating a time of plenty in late spring. Beltane was also a time to celebrate the Green Man, the guardian of the forest. After his rebirth in Ostara, or the spring equinox, he was said to be married to the goddess, the queen of the fairies, also known as the May Queen, on this most special day. As the veil between the realm of man and Fae was said to be especially thin on this particular day, it was believed that the chance to catch a glimpse of these ethereal beings is much more likely to come to fruition for those who dare to search. However, in some cases, the Fae make their presence known more readily at any time of the year. There is one particular type of Fae that does not match the cliched description that most people think of when they imagine fairies. This shapeshifter, known as the puka, was believed to be able to take the shape of an eagle, goat, horse, or even a beautiful maiden. The name puka is derived from the Irish word puck, meaning he-goat. In its true form, the puka was said to be the form of a misshapen goblin with glowing red eyes, and it was believed that this creature made its home in the high mountaintops and hills of Ireland. This ethereal being would often take the form of a horse and traipse about the Irish countryside, destroying fences and causing other such mischief, such as destroying crops or taking on drunken riders who, being under the influence of spirits, are rarely able to recall the event. They only know that the morning after their festivities they have woken up in a place that they do not recall having gone, and that their bodies have been inexplicably damaged, likely from the battering ride upon the back of the puka. The puka is neither a fairy known to be particularly good or evil, and despite its reputation for being a trickster, it has also been known to reveal the future to those who dare to ask. This creature was feared and revered throughout Ireland, and the people still speak of sightings of the puka to this day. J.R.R. Tolkien, who is considered to be the father of modern fantasy, wrote about major characters in his Lord of the Rings series known as the Elves. Tolkien drew inspiration from many different types of folklore, and his name for the elves comes from the Germanic word we discussed in an earlier episode that was used to label all Fae beings. These elves in the works of Tolkien are described as being extremely long-lived or immortal, and don certain supernatural abilities such as longevity, superior and magical healing abilities, as well as extremely heightened senses and reflexes. The origin story of the elves is also said to parallel the story of the Tuatha De Danann, and in the Silmarillion, Tolkien described the Noldorian elves as having arrived on the shores of Middle-earth from the magical land of Valinor. Much like in the story of the Tuatha De Danann, they were said to have burned their ships upon arrival and fought in a great number of valiant and fierce battles. In recent times and pop culture, mankind has been rediscovering and adapting fairy folklore. People the world over are coming back around to the world of fantasy, and it is seen in the cosplay scene. People from all walks of life are collectively indulging in their imaginations with the idea of the realm of Fae again. In Renaissance festivals, cosplay events, and even on social media outlets such as Instagram, people are celebrating the world of Fae, and the magic flows within our human psyche once again. Are the Fae just an indulgence of the imagination and emotion of mankind, or is there truly a realm beyond that of our own that only a very select few will ever boast to have seen? In William Butler Yeats' collection, The Celtic Twilight, he describes his own encounter with the Queen of the Fairies in detail, and I would like to share some of this with you in my next episode and conclusion of the series. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I hope you all have enjoyed this episode of Fairies and Folklore.